Well, good afternoon, sports fans. This is another flight of my Tek-Sumo wing. It's a lovely autumn day here in Australia. It's ANZAC Day, which is a national holiday to remember our fallen soldiers in World War II. So there's a few flyers out at the club today. I don't normally do FPV stuff when there's other people there, but it was such a nice day I couldn't resist flying out to the mountain to see what the conditions were like up there. So it's becoming a little bit routine, I suppose, to some extent. The takeoff goes well, and I just set a bead for the mountain and put it in stabilise mode, and as I said, there isn't much wind, so it's a pretty steady flight out there. I'm just trying to keep a reasonable rate of ascent. I've got to get up to 800 metres and I've got 3.5 kilometres of distance to cover, so just trying to manage the battery current so that I can maximise my time up the top, flying around the fire tower and the telecommunications tower up there. So I'm about 2/3 of the way out here now. So this view shows you a look down the mountain range that Tennent's the highest peak on. So getting close now, and I can just see the towers on the top of the mountain, so just keeping lined up on those. Here we are. I've flown up 60 or 70 metres up above them and diving down, or a shallow dive down towards the towers. And I'm sort of thinking, geez, I should fly between those, but I decide not to until at least I see how much wind there is. So you can see there's a little bit of rocking and rolling going on. I think that's more to do with the stabiliser fighting my control input. So I'll eventually get to the point where I'm confident enough to fly it manually up there, and I think things will be a bit more smooth when I get around to doing that. So this was just, I'd gained some altitude on that first pass, and coming back to it, I just overshot it a bit, so a lazy turn and back down again, having another bit of a dive at it. So once again I'm thinking I should go between those two towers, but that's for another day. So the wind isn't too bad up here. I seem to be under control, so come back for another pass. I still have some gas in the tank, so this is probably the longest amount of time I've spent up on top of the mountain so far, but I decide that's enough and start heading back down. So I'm at about 800 metres and just drop the nose down and let it come down. So home's about in the middle of the screen there, that green paddock with the road going past it on the right. In the foreground is the Namadgi National Park Visitor Centre. And there it is again at the bottom of the screen. So just having a little bit of a look around at the terrain. I've got a couple of people looking over my shoulder at the monitor, so I'm just showing them the sort of views that I'm getting. I just slipped it back in the return to home mode there and came home and basically just landed it. I did a couple of laps of the field, but there was nothing exciting happening there, and just brought her in on manual this time. I'm landing it, so I've given up on the stabiliser landings. They're a little bit erratic. So there you are, just a straightforward flight, plenty of time to look around, and a simple takeoff and landing. So sorry to disappoint those people who are expecting my usual crash or disaster, but I actually don't mind the occasional flight that goes right. So maybe when I get to flying between those two towers we want to see something a bit more exciting.